the radio yesterday, you discovered that there's more talent here than you thought.
Oh, I think we're excited how these guys are working. I think there's good energy. I think there's improvement taking place, especially from practice one to where we're at right now. We definitely got work to do. I mean, this league is competitive. It's good coaches, good players, but I like where we're headed.
So it was more the hard work that stood out to you, or were there some players, or just you don't
Oh,
want
no,
to mention
I think
guys?
we got some
or-
players here, for
Okay.
sure. I do. I think, and you could probably, each position group, a couple of guys standing out, and, but again, we need to improve. There's no question that we can't just stay the same.
So was your main priority, just getting guys introduced to the new terminology, new system, and kind of, I don't want to say changing the culture because that doesn't reflect well on the previous guys, but just getting things going the way you want to go.
Right. Yeah, I think that for sure how we practice is important. The structure of it was going to be new and learning for these guys, and I think they've bought in and they've been working. And from practice 1 to 14, like I'm saying, we're coming along. We really are. So that was a priority to let them know that how we're going to practice is important, and they've bought in.
Do you think everybody talks about quarterbacks, seen separation in the quarterback, or still open?
No,
going into
I think
camp?
those guys have done some good things. I think there has been some days where one guy stands out more than the other. I think this thing's a thorough process on that end. We're not setting any kind of timeline of when we want to name a guy this, that, or the other. But I like where that group's at.
Outside of quarterbacks, who've been some of those standout players through camp?
I think Timmy's had a really good camp offensively. Champ has had a good camp. Key Wetzel, Jonathan Willis, Drew Kell, J-Mo. I mean, there's Blake Brandell stands out to me, and so I can continue. And some of those guys have played, and we needed those guys kind of being older and going. But those guys kind of top of mind.
Timmy is who? I'm sorry.
Hernandez.
Oh, here it is. Okay.
How much of practice was just teaching these players how you want them to play and your standards?
Well, I think always teaching. I think that's always going on. I think, so like I said, early on in the spring, is kind of the structure of practice, the importance of the fundamentals and the posture you're getting into, stance, and where you're going assignment-wise, all of that. So it's been critically. I think we've taught fundamentals every practice, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
You're going to have some time where you can't practice with them. What do you want these guys to work on?
Well, school, and then the weight room, and getting stronger and faster. I think continuing those guys getting around each other and building a culture where they continue to trust and know and work together in this thing.
Sorry for coming in late, but if you've already answered this question, what's the format of the spring practice or this spring game going to be like now with all the injuries and the depth issues?
Yeah, we're going to continue to get some work done fundamentally. We will do some scrimmaging for at least, 40 minutes toward the end of it, some extent, but we want to get some work done. Similar to what we did up in Portland a couple of weeks ago.
As far as, critical injuries, anybody coming back in for the spring game that has been out for the last couple of weeks? Anything changing there?
Nothing dramatic there. And even those guys that have been limited throughout spring, I think those guys have been focused and are improving on and doing the turns they can do. They just can't be doing live tackling and whatnot. So as a whole, I think this team's improved.
You called it a spring preview like last week. You said expect it to be more of that than an actual spring game.
Well, yeah, because there's not going to be a scoreboard and clock, just because, like I said, where we're at number-wise, which is fine. I think we'll get a lot of things done on Saturday, and I think it'll be entertaining for people to come out and see these guys work, and we will do some 11-on scrimmages.
Another question I'm sure you've already answered, but just the quarterback competition update. How's everybody looking? Is Jake kind of grabbing a hold of the first team reps? Or?
I like where that group is at. I think each day some guy stands out maybe more than the other in this process they're going. All of them have really done a great job of diving into learning the new scheme, terminology, and progressing. We're not kind of any timeline on setting a pecking order, but I like where the group's at.
Did you like the snow cone experiment from the other day?
I thought that was good. Yeah, winners, there's rewards, and so the guys that won, we did a little overtime part of it at the end of practice. I think guys enjoyed it, and I think there is something to winning, and then you're not getting some if you're losing. That was great.
Anything like that happening after tomorrow?
Nah, not at this point. Not at this point.
And I know you still have tomorrow to go, but just looking back at spring ball, could you kind of summarize your feelings about it, and maybe these kids, kind of like foster kids, just popped around from coach to coach. Do you feel like you have that trust relationship built up with them now?
I think we're making great strides on that, on the trust piece, getting to know each other more and more now that we're around each other all the time, day-to-day basis. I've been very positive in regards to how these guys have approached it, and these guys have worked. I think they're enjoying it. I mean, even today, bouncing around, we didn't go that long today, but they're getting some work done. You can tell they're enjoying things with each other and with these coaches. So I like the direction we're headed. Are we there yet? No, but we're working to get there.
How about yourself? I mean, you've been a head coach on the field now for a month. Any different than, say, when you felt on April 1st?
Yeah, I'm settling in. I feel, getting adjusted and things. I continue to be impressed with our coaches on how they work, and the guys that we've been able to surround ourselves with here that's been fun. So yeah, I'm getting more and more settled.
How much of the playbook would you say is installed at this point?
Yeah, I'd say less than 100% for sure. I think these guys did a great job on both sides of the ball of kind of laying the foundation, and so where we can build off of it now that we know the skill set even more of these players and what they do well. So I'm really pleased with how Tibbs and Brian Lindgren put the foundation in, but maybe a little over 50%, I'd say.
And how's your family adjusting to Corvallis being back here, and also your wife probably kind of being a single mom right now, going through that whole thing?
Yeah.
But how's your family doing here in Corvallis, settling in?
Yeah, they're doing well. They really are. Me and my wife were here before when I finished playing. We got married, and so she's been in Corvallis before. She knows the town. With the young kids, it's a great place for a family to be able to spend time, and so they're doing great.
Thank you, John.